Okay, so we wanted to, thank you. Okay, it's good.
Thank you.
So we wanted to go live because we wanted to talk a little bit about how we can go through this time without having to go through the fears or feeling like we're alone. So we're going to start, I think, with a little meditation or a little prayer,
Yes.
and then we can get started. So if you'd like to join us.
Okay. So we are going to give thanks to our Father, Mother God for this wonderful day, for this beautiful opportunity that we have to share and spend time with you guys. We know that there is only one mind, one power in this universe, and that is God. And we are calling upon the most highest vibration, which is unconditional love. And I want you to shower yourself with that beautiful energy. And just take a deep breath. As always, we are going to call upon our guardian angels, spirit guides, and all the beautiful beings that wants to help us and assist us today. And for that, we are so grateful. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now that we figured out the camera, um,
Okay. So, we want to talk a little bit about the situation that is happening now. And it's because there is a lot of people with a lot of stress. And we are going to address fear, stress, and all the issues that we are experiencing right now. If you have questions, please let us know. We are going to answer
Yeah.
your questions, or any comments that you have are welcome. And then at the end, we're going to do a little clearing and some downloads, okay? So let's talk a little bit about stress, okay?
yes. So right now, I know that everybody, we're all human. So we go through emotions, stress, anxiety, frustration. And one of the things I wanted to say is, up to today, everything that we've been teaching or that we've been guiding our students and clients is that the more we meditate, the more we come into a state of, I want to say, inner peace. Now, where do fears come from, or why do we get stressed? And one of the main reasons is because everything regarding fears and belief systems come from childhood, most of the time. And what happens is that right now we're feeling a little bit unstable, we're feeling like what's going to happen. It's kind of like having a little bit of fear of the unknown. So when we go into these moments of fear, the things that start coming up is, how am I going to pay? How am I going to do? Or we start thinking about, what if this is going to be for months? What am I going to be doing with this or that? And so all these fears can be transformed. And even though we're going to give a little bit of pointers, I want to say that if we have trust, that's going to be one of the main keys.
But I think in order to get to have peace and have faith, we are going to talk a little bit about where that fear and uncertainty and stress is coming from, okay? Because it seems like we need to go a little bit back in time when we were a child, when we learn everything that is going to be the fundamental for the rest of our lives. So, of course, we love our family, we honor them, we appreciate it, we love our parents, but definitely if we saw our parents fighting, if we saw that they are arguing all the time, that they get divorced or get separated for any reason, definitely we are going to feel unease. There's going to be fear. And usually we as kids, we always think that everything is our fault.
Yeah.
And also we are holding resentments, definitely rejections, and anger.
Yeah.
So I feel that this situation is pushing us to make a little bit of changes in our life, okay?
Yeah. One of the things is that we have found that sometimes when we see clients, they say, oh no, but I forgave my mom or I forgave my dad. And what happens is that sometimes we don't even know that we hold on to that energy. So we usually feel like, okay, no, that's it. It's gone. I forgot it. But sometimes the energy that we hold on to is either that feeling of, okay, they got separated, nothing is stable, everything can change. And here's the thing, change is good. What happens is that when we have that fear of, I don't know what's going to happen, we have lost all trust, not just in ourselves, but in a higher power. So when we are kids, we absorb the information on how do I know I'm going to be okay? And that's why it's very important for us to talk to our kids on things that are happening, not from the place of fear, but how can we empower that feeling? Because if they got separated, my parents got separated, uncertainty, unknown. Okay, if they got into fights, oh, guess what? We get the pattern of like, okay, if I have a partner, then it's going to be arguments. So most of the time we carry these things and they usually come from childhood. So we have to see that we can change those patterns, we can release those fears, and we can come into that space of, okay, how can I look at this from a different perspective?
Because in reality, the normal kind of life that we should have is being in our home, have security, feel loved, safe, and have everything that we need as a kids, right?
Yeah.
And you were saying something about faith in God. That is another issue because, for example, we used to go to church all the time, but it was kind of once in a while, and we don't know really who or where was God.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that if I was a bad kid or a bad person, God was going to punish me. So there is some kind of separation there, okay?
Yes.
And we need to clear beliefs about our own spirituality. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's another thing, exactly what you said, because sometimes or something happens, let's say, I don't know why we're using the example of separation as children with our parents, but one of the things is that if that happens, then nothing is safe, nothing is stable, and then where's God in all this? Or where was God when certain things happen? And so we have to find out what the definition of when we were younger is God or source or universe. And like my mom said, it's not about going to church and having every day or every Sunday. It's about how can you tap into that energy, that source energy, that divine energy. And so that's what's going to make us feel safe.
And even though our parents are not separating, they are not having divorce, if they have issues, definitely we're going to feel it. Because we are surrounded by that energy that it's uncertainty. Usually when we have huge secrets in the family, is the worst thing. Because the environment, it's kind of threatening.
Like a threat.
Like a threat. And we don't know what is going on, but something is happening in the air. And let's remember that we have a lot of gifts as humans. So we feel, we hear, we sense, but we don't understand because we don't have, we don't know how to discern that.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is that not only at home, but that is going to be the base. It's also at school, the environment. They are in charge of reinforcing all those negative feelings and emotions and beliefs in our system. So, but something that comes to my mind is stress. So one of the beliefs also is that we need stress sometimes in order to accomplish something.
Yeah.
That we need to have a stress in order to move forward. That we need to have a stress in order to make a shift or change in our life. Only when, I always say that we learn in two ways. By wisdom, with ease and grace. When we learn, we go buy books, we go to seminars, workshops. But there is another way, and usually that is the first option for humans. When we wait until situations happen and we learn in a hard way.
In a hard way, yes. And I know we've heard this, but it's like we go into the stress motion of fight or flight mode, where we're like, okay, in this situation, this is what I'm going to do. And then you're right. It's like, this is what pushes us.
Yeah.
And I mean, here's the thing. It's okay because it's helped us reach where we're at. But I think we can learn in a different way with ease and grace, because if not, what happens also? Here's the thing also with fears and stress. We can actually make the body ill. So not only we're stressed out, but then something happens. We get a cold, or actually because of the same stress, we can actually get hurt. We trip because we're so into the things that are going on, that we get into that moment of like, okay, this is not good for me or our families. And
actually, when we are doing things under stress, your adrenal system is going to be affected. And then your health is going to be in jeopardy. Usually issues with throat, a lack of expression has to do with that.
Yes.
Okay. So we need to allow ourselves to go or be in the flow. And it should be a law that we need to learn every single day something good, something new.
Yes.
But because if we grow and we expand, we are going to be aware all the time of things, okay?
Yeah. One of the other things is that right now...
let me grab my coffee.
Oh, yeah. One of the things that we have right now is something else also. If you notice, we're having a type of resistance to change. And that also comes from childhood, when something was changed and we weren't ready or we weren't aware. And like I always go back to this, because sometimes I've had a few people tell me, like, why do you tell your son every single step that you're going to do? Well, here's the thing. Sometimes we don't tell kids. We're like, guess what? We have to move from apartment, from house. We just move, and they're like, why? What happened? And it's like, and it's happened either to us or, and you've seen that, okay, so that means that nothing is steady or stable, or people are going to do things without my acknowledgement. So it is very, very important to keep the communication going. Just like she said, if it's a throat incident, it's because we weren't able to either express ourselves or there's something going on. So we have to always also observe how we react. I saw a post today, which I was going to share, that said, right now is the moment of reaction to an action that has happened. Now, we always say that, every action has a reaction, but how do we really, really know if we're reacting, and I'm not saying in the wrong way, and like in a way that we should be able to not just express ourselves fully, but also how can we go through this process with ease and grace, exactly like my mom said. So when there's also this feeling of resistance to change, I know we know, but when something is changing, we have to look at the positive. We have to see what's really going on, because there's a lot of good things that are happening in this time.
Yeah.
So resistance to change, fear of the unknown, and I'm not saying these are wrong, but because of the reactions that we're having, it kind of creates a feeling of uncertainty, and that's what we need to kind of I want to say navigate, but we shouldn't even navigate through it. We should be able to surpass it.
Something else is that this is the perfect moment for us to release the past. Release and let go of the past. We should work this in a daily basis.
Yes.
Make the call that you need to call the person that you need to call. Tell people what you really feel. Sometimes we are surrounded by people and we don't see each other, or we don't talk to each other. There are moments that even in our own family we don't know each other, because we don't spend time sharing quality time.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Quality time. And here's the thing, we're going through a process of, I want to say we're releasing a lot of things that are not serving us. Because if you really look at it, I've been talking to a few people and I've been saying, give me 1 second. So now companies are saying that you can actually work from home. I thought that was really unheard of, So when push comes to shove, the things that shift in a positive way. I was also talking to someone who had said, my company will never let me work from home. And I said, you know what, trust. Because sometimes you never know what can happen. Of course, not something like this, but now she's working from home. So things sometimes can change. And right now is that moment for shift. Because I'm reading kind of like, as I'm talking, I'm reading like some of the comments. Yes, Britt, you're right. It's like usually life is so busy that we kind of go into that space of like, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. And we really are missing in the most important moments, not just being with family, but also just being with ourselves. One of the posts my mom put today is that I can't go outside, so I can go within, or something like that.
Yeah.
So we need to focus on the positive things. One of the things I always say is, and until today, do not look at the news. News creates more fear than what's really going on, and I can't stress that enough, because everybody is benefiting from something, and the news is just benefiting from the situation that's going on, but we really don't know what's real truth, or what's just the news just trying to exaggerate, so to speak. Now, of course, and I've said this many times, I'm not saying it's a lie. It's real. What's going on is very real, but we can also be aware that, okay, what is this bringing to me? What is this bringing to light? And how we can overcome it. So we have the fear of instability, fear of losing, and if we really, really look at it, this is not about let's trust the system, let's see something is going to come out of it. This is more about why is this happening in this moment? And I really, really feel it's kind of a reset. It's resetting, literally, actually, if you notice, it's resetting our own belief systems. Like, who would have thought that everything would just close? Now, look at the positive. Are the stores closed? No. We still have food, we have water, we have electricity, and there's a few things that are going on, like, there's not going to be evictions, the pardoning. But here's the other thing. We have to trust in something else just within ourselves than actually looking at all the negative. So when we look at the news and when we look at something that's really, I want to say, on the outside, I'm going to touch a little bit, and I'm not going to go too deep into it, but what is a virus? And a virus is something that we can't clear. We can heal it, but we can't clear.
We can heal it, we can hate it, we can't. Yeah.
So when there's something like that going on, I will say this: what we will attract is something that we fear. And even though it sounds like, well, you know what, it's contagious or this or that, we will attract it if we keep on feeding that fear. And one of the things that's going to be very important is, like I said, it's not about going out there and everything is fine. It's about how we can release that feeling of, I don't know what's going to happen if this happens to me. But, and here's the thing, it's not even about statistics. Until today, there's been a few things I have caught on, which is like people have died of just the regular flu more than what this virus is doing. So a virus, we can actually surpass that feeling of fear and healing and transforming what's going on. And not to give in to that fear, not to feed more news, not to feed. I haven't shared much in this time just because right now everyone is trying to just kind of fend for themselves. But I will say this: if all of us come together and all of us shine the light and all of us empower ourselves, that's going to be one of the main keys. And we're going to talk about all the positives in a minute. When we transform that feeling of fear, it's going to bring a lot of feeling of peace of mind, certainty, and it's going to give us that moment of, I want to say, epiphany, or feeling safe. So I will really suggest, just please don't look at the negative post, news, or anything, because when we start sharing that specifically, oh, look at all this that's going on, oh, look at what the news said, oh, look at, that's just creating more fear. And the thing is that if you're scared, you know what, you're going to get through it. But when we share things like that, we're actually feeding that fear to others. And I really disagree on that. I feel like we shouldn't feed into that, because then what we're doing is we're helping that negative energy spread, and that's what we don't need right now.
And another thing is that when we heal something that has to do with virus in a body, we need to recognize that virus itself has consciousness. And the virus is trying to do something in a people's body.
Mhm.
So the consciousness of the body is give a message to the person
Mhm.
to make changes,
Mhm.
to take more care of health. But we are going to do downloads, healings,
Mhm.
positive things to the person and even to the virus. So the
Mhm.
virus can be transformed.
Transformed.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And let's remember that we are energy and vibration all the time, okay? So, real quick, I'm going to let you know or remind you that our frequency needs to be high.
Mhm.
And it's by having faith and trust that everything is going to be okay, that God is bigger than everything. This is going to be history pretty soon.
Mhm.
The other thing is, since we are energy and vibration,
Mhm.
we are radiating our fear or our faith all the time, okay? We are going to make feel safe people around us,
Mhm.
or we are going to spread the fear.
Mhm.
So, how can we raise our vibration? Focusing in all the positive things, that now you have time to spend with your family, that now you can talk and play games, that now that you can be creative.
Mhm.
Right now, I can bet that everybody's having a lot of ideas and inspiration.
Yeah, I saw a post
Yeah.
today that someone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to bake something,"
Yeah.
and she baked it, and it's like she said, "I've never done this before." So I've seen also a lot of positive things coming out of this. There's a lot of people that are spending time with their families and being creative, having new things,
Yes.
sharing time.
Yeah.
One thing also is raising our vibration, and I can't stress this enough, is that we need to meditate. Meditation is going to be key in every aspect of our lives. And I know that sometimes it seems like, well, how can I meditate if, well, trust me, now you have the time. So before, if you didn't have the time, now you have the time. And this is not about sitting there for 50 minutes, an hour. This is about going within. What happens when we go within? We get into that inner peace, inner space, and it creates a sense of calm. So what happens when we go into that frequency and vibration? We're literally this close to reaching that state of gratitude, peace, that divine energy. So it is that I will say this every single time. Meditation is key. We don't see it, but the more we practice it, the more it's going to be easy for us. Now, here's something else I want to say to the clients and students that we've had. If for some reason you're going through this moment of stress and panic, have we worked on what we were talking about? Have we done our work? Have we done our inner work? Have we been meditating? Because if we have been doing what we've taught, right now would not be a moment of stress. We have given several sessions, and for this moment to be a moment of, okay, this happened, now how can I help others? Now I do have a few communities that are reaching out and doing classes, online classes and stuff like that, and I think this is great. If we have talked about how we can tap into other people, how we can help, right now, if we're in a state of fear or stress, it's not gonna help if we don't help ourselves first. Now, this journey has been coming on for years. I want to say that we've been preparing for something like this for a long time. If we have done our inner work right now, we shouldn't be stressed. Now, yes, we get caught up in life. Don't get me wrong, because I do too. And like I've said also before, sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'll meditate tomorrow. I didn't have time to. Oh, I'll meditate tomorrow. Or I'll do my work tomorrow. The thing is that tomorrow, it's not going to come. And then when we come into this moment of stress, we can't even help ourselves or others. So let's do the work. And the thing is that, and if you need help, we're here. You know, we're still doing sessions online. Nothing's changed in that sense, so we're still helping others get past this moment. The moment things get stressful, this is the moment where we all need to shine the light and hold hands.
And it's been scientifically proven that when a lot of people pray or meditate, sending good vibration to
Yes.
our country, the planet, especially in this country where, ¿cómo se dice? Violence is being reduced like 70%.
Yeah. So we were looking at some, since we want to talk about statistics about everything that's bad, let's talk about the positive. Meditation, there was this group, I want to say of, I don't know if it was like, don't quote me on numbers because I'm always big on numbers, but let's say 50,000 people in meditation at the same time. They reduced violence around the globe, and it was tested by, I think at that point,
70%.
it was either 75 or 80% reduced violence. And this is not something that, oh, we can make this happen. No, it was a study. So let's not Google, let's not research all this negative stuff. Let's look at the positives so we can help others instead of spreading any fear. So we have the meditations, and also we're gonna share on the video. I'm gonna share a link for any meditation works. We're gonna share our theta meditation, and just so you can just feel grounded.
And we're going to give you a couple of downloads. In Theta Healing, we go into a theta state, so the brain waves are going to slow down. We're going to calm your mind, and you can do this meditation all the time. We are getting into this quantum field where we can download ourselves with good energy, make shifts and changes in not only the body but our life.
So we're gonna do a little meditation. I have Britta was asking for any meditation tips. Let me say that for meditation, like I said earlier, is just going within. You can just put water sounds. I don't usually like to suggest like go into YouTube and find a meditation music, because sometimes the frequency or the vibration of the meditations that are there are different and might not match our own. So I always just kind of say, sense the energy, and if for some reason you can't, just put some water sounds. Water actually calms our mind. Water is very, very powerful. So if you put rain, meditation, rain sounds, fountain sounds, waterfalls, that helps a lot with that feeling and that energy of
Incense.
Feeling peace and calm. Light some incense. Yes, right now sage. I was hearing somebody say that they couldn't find sage anywhere, because it cleanses the environment. If you don't have sage, that's okay. But go within 5-10 minutes. You wake up. You're already in that state of, when you wake up, you're in that state of peace or calm. So sit up, close your eyes, go within. You already have your water sounds, and it's going to feel a lot less stressful going into the day. Now, something else is that if you start like that, the moment that you start feeling a little bit anxious, right that moment, now I was going to say, if you're at work, go into the bathroom and just close your eyes. Right now that, most of us are at home, close your eyes. And in that moment, just ask for, give me 5 minutes. You're talking to a family member, just give me 5 minutes. Let me close my eyes, or go to your room and just go within. Meditation doesn't have to be complicated. We usually tend to say, I have to follow a guided meditation. Perfect. We're going to post one there because I can't quiet my mind. That's guided. And basically that one just grounds you, makes you feel safe, and connects you into a higher power. Something else that we can do is do some writing, some journaling. Right now, writing is going to be key. We're going to start writing a few things that, what's going on, how do I feel, and just release any energy that's there. So we have meditation, we have writing, and then also, something I would love is, my mom always gives this tip, which is write things that you're grateful for. And if you really notice right now, there's a lot of things that we can be grateful for. So yes, we have water, we have lights, we have, if it's cold, we have something to keep us warm. Yes, there's sometimes no toilet paper. People just went crazy with that, but let's be grateful that we have health. And if for some reason we don't feel healthy, then let's transform that. What do we need to do? Because actually right now is a time of self-care, self-nourishment. So this is the perfect time for you to tap into your energy and what makes you feel safe. Making your favorite tea, setting the table, doing breakfast. Right now, nobody's rushing to anything.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of time for us to do anything that we want to do.
A book that I recommend,
Mm-hmm.
Living the Now with Eckhart Tolle.
Eckhart Tolle, yes, Living the
That
Now.
is- yeah,
Mhm.
that is one. That is kind of the perfect book to read right now.
Yes. I mean, right now we have time for everything. Something also that I wanted to say is that, let's say for some reason you don't read or you don't have the patience, and I will speak for myself. There's Audible, which I'm having a blast. I can just hear the book. So, let's keep that faith, that trust. This is happening for a reason, and I want to say that one of the main reasons is if we didn't think something like this can happen, change can be in seconds, and we've always said it. Things can change 1 second to the next. Sometimes we were like, oh, okay, I have a job, now I don't. Someone got sick, we don't know what's going to happen. Right now, that everything shifted, is the perfect time for, yes, we can go walking. There's really no excuse for anything right now. Exercising, eating healthy, doing or saying things. So right now is going to be the perfect time for us to do anything that we wanted to do. And we're going to try to answer most of the questions that are here. And then we're going to do a clearing and a little bit of meditation. So let me see. Yes, we know life is always busy. Right now we have time. Yes, we're going to do some releasing of negative feelings or fears that we have in this moment. Let me see if there's anything else that we need to know. Let me double check just to make sure that I have everything covered. Let me know if you have any questions before we start, and I think we're gonna get ready in a little bit to do the meditation. Do you have anything else to say?
No, it's if somebody new looking at this video,
Oh, yes.
right? Please send us your email address, and we are going to send you some links
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be useful
Mhm.
for this.
We're gonna be sending some information.
Yeah.
So, let me see what else. I think I'm good with the questions. So if you want, we can start with that.
Definitely, we're going to clear that we need to be in this situation or pressure to make changes.
Yes. Nobody wants to be in any type of situation like this.
Yeah. So
Yes, Norma. So I know everybody's excited about the clearing. And also, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And this video obviously is going to be on our website, and we're going to share it, so you can shine some light on people who feel like they're stuck or they feel like they can't get out of this. I do know that for a fact we always come out in a positive. There's always something positive after something like this. So, and if you notice, this is the perfect time for all of us to come together and hold the light. So let's help each other, let's empower ourselves so we can definitely clear anything that might be holding us behind.
And there is a shortcut to clear beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the willing to
Yes.
release and let go.
Yes.
So just keep in mind that this is the perfect moment for you to forgive, forget, release, let go, and begin to grow and move forward, okay? So let's begin with the meditation, okay?
And so we're going to start with the meditation, and also I want to say that when we're saying anything that we want to release, just say yes. And we're tapping into everyone who is connecting to the video now and also later on. So
yes, if you can see the video later, you also are going
you're
to
going to receive the downloads and the clearing.
So let's focus on our heart. Release, let go, relax your body. Put your feet on the floor or look for this space where you feel comfortable. Focus in your heart and let's send our consciousness to the center of the earth. So we can be grounded, feeling safe, feeling secure. Imagine that your legs becomes like a root of a tree and you feel very grounded to Mother Earth. We are going to bring the most highest vibration from Mother Earth and imagine this beautiful light coming up, reaching the bottom of your feet, clearing your feet, your legs, going up to your hips, clearing your stomach, your chest. Allow the light to clear your throat, your face, your hair. And imagine that this light go out of your body to your crown chakra and becomes a beautiful sphere of light. And you can imagine the color that this sphere of light has today, because every time it's going to be different. And this light is going to be your vehicle to go up into the universe, your Merkaba light. So I want you to put your consciousness into this sphere of light, and we begin to go up into the sky, leaving this place, leaving the planet, leaving the solar system, leaving the galaxy. We are going to cross the universe, and you can see bright lights, dark lights, planets, nebulas. We are going to pass where angels, masters, and beings are, and you can invite one of them to come with you in this journey. Buddha, Jesus, whoever you want to call, Mother Mary. And we need to continue going up. And I want you to imagine the colors of the rainbow. Those are the laws of the universe. The pink color is the law of compassion, and you can shower yourself with that color. And just take a deep breath. Now we need to go a little bit higher until finally you see this beautiful iridescent white light, which is the seventh plane of existence. The sphere that brought you here begins to disappear, and you begin to merge with this beautiful light. So right now you and the light are one. And feel that beautiful energy in every cell, in every atom, in every organ. And this beautiful light is clearing your mind, your brain, and you feel safe. Every time that we are between lifetimes, we always come into the light. So this is home. And right here, first of all, we are going to clear all fears about any situation, any kind of confusion, uncertainty. I don't know what is happening, feeling trapped, feeling stuck. Being under suppression. And in this moment, Monica, if you want to help me, let's teach everybody to live without.
Okay. So, is it okay if we download coming from a higher place, space, the feeling of I know how to live without fear? I know how to live without stress. I know how to live without panic and anxiety. I know how to live without having to go through a situation that's painful. And you can just take a deep breath in.
And we're going to instill in our systems the feeling of, I know what it feels like to be safe, how to trust. Trust the divine, trust God, the universe, how to be protected, how to get with ease and grace to this shift. And if this shift is for a change, let's teach our bodies that change is good, change is safe, that change is good for our own evolution and growing, that we can move out of our comfortable zone with ease and grace.
And is it also okay if we instill the feeling of I know how to feel safe, protected, grounded, and also the feeling of knowing how to be fully aware of your surroundings? And is it also okay if we download the feeling of feeling unconditional love? And also the feeling of knowing what it feels like to have self-care. And also the feeling of I know God, Source, Universe, and I are one. I am connected to Source, and I can trust in that divine energy. And you can just take a deep breath in.
And also for everybody that has the fear about money, or for people who lose their jobs or they are not working, just remember that money is related to worth. To be worth it. So let's teach our bodies that you are worth it of love, respect, that you can allow that divine energy of money to come into your hands, that you open your heart and your hands and your soul to receive all the abundance that God wants to send you. That there is more than enough, that you can have plenty. In abundance, for God is the whole package. is abundance of love, peace, harmony, health. And let's make a statement right here that you are perfect, whole, and complete. That perfect health is in your life right now. And also, let's be clear about spirituality. That we know who we are, that in this moment, this connection is just an illusion. Let's teach our body the feeling of oneness, that we all are one, that we all are connected. Let's be connected and let's be one with the plants, with animals, with people, not just our family, but with the country, with the continent, with the whole world. We are one. And let's send unconditional love to everybody. I want you to send unconditional love to your friends, your family, friends and family that are far away, knowing that distance is also an illusion. We all are connected. And also, let's be open for new beginnings, for new opportunities, allowing God to surprise us with good news. Let's instill in ourselves the energy of belief and magic, trust and faith. Let's be more centered, living in the here and now. Just take a deep breath. And let's reinforce this connection with the source, knowing that we are always fully protected, that we are safe, that the love of God is always surrounding you, that you are living in this atmosphere of love, of unconditional love, which is the atmosphere of God. So let's get into the vortex and be at the center, just waiting, holding the light for good news. There is something else? Okay, so I am receiving that we need to clear guilt, shame, and sadness and sorrow from everybody, okay? So with your permission, I'm going to do that. And this is the perfect moment for you to remember who you are and what are you doing here. So take a moment to think about your mission and your life purpose. Because you are a light and you need to shine that light. You are faith and trust and you need to radiate that. Okay, so do the closing.
So, knowing that all these beautiful downloads instill in your system, your DNA in each and every cell of your body, knowing that we are all one and we're connected to source, and we can go and be in a state of peace, gratitude, faith. And we want to thank everyone that joined us, and we want to thank also all the assistants of the beings of light that were here with us today. And for this, we are so grateful. And so it is.
And so it is. So let's come back to our body. We come back from the light, crossing all the universe, so you can feel grounded. And I want you to imagine this beautiful light, like a cascade of light, coming out from your crown chakra, washing away any kind of imperfection from your physical body. We're going to send that to Mother Earth to be canceled and transmute. You can feel centered. You can feel in your body. Be aware and be in the here and now. So when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you very much to everybody. And we hold the space in prayer for everybody, for our community, our families, our country, and the whole planet, because this is not just right here, it's around the world. So we are going to keep our prayers and sending unconditional love to everybody.
Yes.
Pretty soon we are going to do another video, but we are going to let you know.
So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us, and we pray that everybody today is in good health.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. God bless you guys.